Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet. I think it's fabulous. It has nice straight stripes throughout it. It's made on, this version will be the two loom one. I do have a one loom version out for this as well too, so look for that if you need to use that one. It's kind of neat because I still, even though they're nice straight stripes, it's still made in an offset pattern on the loom. One loom length you can get 6 on if you have the rainbow loom, and you can offset your pin bars. If you have the normal looms, you can only get 5 of these, or the other looms, not normal. The other looms you can get 5 on at a time. You just have to find that first spot where you can do an angle for your looms if they connect together. Like I said, you can get 6 on one loom length, so this is 2 looms long. As far as length, around my wrist fits pretty nicely, I think. I just think it's a cute little bracelet. I've done, or should have out, or will have out, some variations on this too that I think are absolutely fabulous as well. It's pretty easy to make. As far as bands, kind of each stripe, or a full stripe including the border around it, it's about, I think I figured 24 bands. So the next one would be a little less, so however many stripes you need, it's kind of along those lines for band usage. And we'll get started here. So like I kind of showed you the loom earlier, with the rainbow loom, if you take 3 pin bars and then just kind of offset them at a slant up towards the middle, and then on the other side you'll have 2 more that go towards the middle, like that. This is the red arrow side, so the other side looks like an arrow. So once you get that set up, what we're going to do is lay the border bands first that will go along the sides. And we do that by going all the way up the left and right side with our bands, just a single band all the way up. Like that, up the left side, and then we go back and do the right side the same way. Like that. Then we'll come back to the beginning, and now we're going to lay bands in kind of an arrow shape here towards the center. We can just go all the way up one side and then come back and do the other side. But we'll start here on the first spot where you can make an arrow shape. And we just want to go towards the center. 2 bands. Then you're going to skip a row and then go 2 bands towards the center again. I'm hoping this doesn't come flying apart because my base plates are not sticking like they normally do. But skip another row, put your bands in, and we just keep doing that all the way up the loom. Skip a row, 2 bands in. It's hard with the base plates because they want to put a bunch on to secure the loom, but then trying to show you what I'm doing, it can't really see as well over the base plates as you can when there's nothing underneath. So last one up here, like that. So you should have a row and then skip, and then a row all the way up that side. And then we'll come and just kind of meet back towards the middle where the other ones are. Like that. So just kind of have a nice arrow pattern. Like so. And if I didn't mention, I am going to show you how to extend this as well. So then we'll come back to the beginning, and we actually need to, these are still the border pieces, or these are the cross pieces now, the ones that are here. We actually need end caps in the middle of all of these. So you want them fairly tight, so like 3 times around. If your bands are super stretchy, maybe 4. But 3 seems to be good with the different bands I've used. So like so, end caps on all the middle points. And now we will fill up the center, so the middle of the rectangles. And I like to turn my loom sideways. We are working towards the center when we do this part. So if you want to start on the same side that I do, my red arrow is over on my right. But we're going to start from this pin and kind of make a zigzag line to this middle pin up here. So out to this pin and then back to the middle pin in the middle of the bracelet. Like that. And then again from this middle pin in between the stripes here, just go straight across to the middle pin right there. And then this last one, middle pin to the outside here, and then back towards the middle. So we end up kind of making this little rectangle with a line through the middle of it. But we're going to repeat that pattern all the way down this side of the loom, and then we'll turn around and do the other side. So again, here's our middle pin in between these 2 stripes. Band over, and then towards the middle, and then straight across, and then kind of a zigzaggy shape back. Like that. And if it's easier, you can just look at it as going out from this middle pin here, out to these 3 pins. Like that. And then you think from these 3 pins to this middle pin. So either way, you still end up with the same shape and the same banding direction, technically, so whichever way it's easier to think of it as. Alright, so that's all the way down one side of the loom. So then if you turn it around, so now my red arrow's on the left side, we're going to do the same exact banding. And this whole thing is one stripe here, so if you want this color to go all the way across, then you just do the same thing, start from the outside and work your way into the middle. So just repeat that all the way down the loom. So like so. So I have all the center of the stripes filled up. And now we need end caps again. And you're going to want them on the center between the stripes. So between the other two end caps that you already have, you'll want another one right here. 3 times is good. Just wrap the band around. Alright, so now we have all that laid. So now it is time for some looping. So you can turn your loom around. And we're going to start first by looping out the center colors of our rectangles. So you go in through the end cap that we just placed and find whatever band is on top, and then just pull that back towards itself. And you might as well just grab the next band in kind of this little path and pull that back towards the outside pin. Then go back to the end cap, grab the next band, and do the same thing. Just follow it all the way out to the outside. Next band, So now I have one whole side looped. Then you go and do the other side. Like that. So then we repeat that in each middle section here. Just find the top band, pull it back towards itself. For these where they overlap the stripe divider, I guess, you are going through this big circle here, so make sure that you're catching, because we actually catch that band right here. Just repeat it all the way up. I really like this bracelet because I think it looks pretty advanced, but I don't think the banding is too hard. Pretty repetitive for the most part. It's kind of like a straightened out version of my herringbone bracelet. And of course, try not to grab bands you're not supposed to. Guess I can't talk and loom at the same time. Couple more here. So I wonder if anybody can figure out why this bracelet ends up going and looking almost completely straight when it's made in an arrow-shaped pattern. Just curious if anyone can see why that is. You'll have to comment to me or something and we'll see who figures it out first. The last couple bands here. What I like about this bracelet too is it seems to go pretty quick, really, and you still get a really nice bracelet, much quicker than some of the other designs that I've done where it takes you a while. Alright, so now we have all the middle of the rectangles loomed out. So now we'll go back to the beginning and we're going to loom out the stripes. So starting in that center end cap, just grab whatever band is on top, pull it back towards itself, and then grab the next one and go to the outside. And then do the other side. And just keep repeating that all the way up the loom. Make sure to go through these bands here to get all the way to that bottom band. Like so. So now we have all of the cross pieces loomed out. So now we're just going to go up each side of the loom till the end. So just come in through here, grab that bottom band and pull it over. There are a lot of bands on this pin, and I know that I'm using a metal hook, but I don't think they seem to loosen up because we've kind of stretched them out, so I haven't had any real issues with it being like too tight for my hook or anything like that. Band choice, of course, would make a difference. These are just opaque bands, and these were jelly, and these are shimmer. So they're kind of, I don't say slimy, but slippery. So they seem to go or slide easier. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue there. So like so. Then we go up and do the other side. It's kind of weird using a plastic hook if you've been used to using the metal one. Alright, so that is everything loomed. We do have 2 open points on this bracelet, so if you plan on ending it now, you'll want to secure these. You can just tie a slip knot through them, or however you want to do that. I am going to extend this, so I just kind of want placeholders for now. You can use bobby pins or a band through with a clip, or you just use your hook to get it over there. I'm probably just going to use my hook, but before I take this off, I'm going to go back, make sure you don't take off the corners, but I'm going to remove the sides, especially where all the bands are, because they do get stuck when you're taking it off the loom, just because there are a lot of bands and it's easier. It's always better if you can take your project off just with your hook, I found, because you're less likely to distort it and pull the bands out so they're kind of misshapen and all that stuff. So I just removed a little bit of it so that it'll be easier to take off the loom. And I'm just going to take my hook, stick it in one side, down there nice and far, pull that off, kind of pull off a little bit, come over and grab the other side on my hook, and then just pull this off. And that's what we have so far. Pretty sweet, I think. Looks pretty good too. I really like the gray with the bright colors for some reason. Or for some random reason, as my son, or let's see, it's for some random reason, I don't know why. That's what my son says to me a lot. Alright, so now for the extension, you'll obviously want to figure out your pattern colors. Like I've just been doing the rainbow ones mainly, so it's the same color pattern if you can get all 6 on at the same time. The easiest way I've found to figure out your pattern is either to write it down or to, you have to kind of remember this is how we took it off the loom, so this is going to connect down here. So I want my pattern, to be continued down. So, but everything on the loom setup is the same. I went down the sides, I did the cross pieces into the center, I did the center of the rectangles. The only thing that's different is I did not have an end cap on this first cross piece because we have one on here that we're going to use for the extension. So if you turn your loom around, and for those of you that might kind of wonder, this is why I chose to make the pointy arrow in at this side, just because I think it's easier to work kind of on the pointy end of the arrow instead of the collapsed in when you're trying to extend. So first I'm just going to get this on the loom. The design is the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter, you know, if I want to put it on this way or this way, it's the same, so it shouldn't affect anything. But before I put it on, I'm going to do some things to make it kind of continuous in the design. I'm going to take off this cross piece right here and just let it drop, and the same thing on the other side. And I'll bring you in here a little bit. So I just took these cross pieces off and just left them down there. We'll be using them again in a moment, but so just take whatever's on your hook or however you secured it from one side and put that on this pin. And then it is a stretch, but if you can kind of help it by finding that end cap in the center and putting that on the middle pin. And then you'll take everything else that's on your hook and stretch it over to the other side. Like so. And what we're going to do is actually remove the cross pieces that are on the bracelet work that we're putting on here right now. And we're going to use the ones underneath that are on there. I think it's just easier to do it that way. So first what we'll do is there is the one band that is in the center of this stitch right here. It's just the one overlapping band, and that is the only thing that we want to put over the pin. And you're going to do that on both sides. So it's pretty easy. There isn't a whole lot of anything else in there to get in the way, so you can't see it, but it's just one little loop over band. It'll be easier to see once I take out the cross pieces too, so. But that's what you should have now. So now what we're going to do is remove, in my case, the gray cross pieces. So I'll start on one side. The top band is your border band down the side. So if you pick that one up and hang on to it, the next two bands should just be your cross piece bands. You can remove those. If you're not comfortable removing them both at the same time, just remove one to make sure you're in the right spot. But remove that, and you can remove it all the way over. Although it looks like I trapped mine underneath here. So I just took off both of those bands for this cross piece side. Now, if you reach down here with your hook or fingers, grab that cross piece band that we dropped and bring it up and over onto this pin. So now it's there just like it was before. And now put this border band back on top for now. We'll have to move it again after a while, but just so it's there now. Now I want to do the exact same thing on the other side. So the top band is the side border band, so you'll pick that one up and hold it. The next two bands are the cross pieces. So just take those off. Remove those. Go down in here, grab that band we dropped, and bring it up over on the pin. And then put that top border band back on. So you'll know you'll have it correct if it looks like this. So here's the next section where there'd be a border band or a cross piece band. So we have our single chain going up, and then our cross piece is on top. So at our connection that we just fixed, this is the single chain, these two bottom bands. This next one should be your cross piece, and this is the top border band from before. So it should look like that on both sides. Single chain band, and then this is the other single chain from the bracelet. This is my cross piece, and this is just the top border band. There's one more thing you'll have to do here to fix these so that they're all trapped correctly, so you get a nice continuous look through the extension part. So, but first we have to do what we did before, which is loom out all the centers of the rectangle, and then loom out the cross pieces. And it's when you do the cross pieces that we need to do a change down here. So I'm going to loom this up. I'll show you what I'm doing, but I'm going to fast forward through it pretty quick in editing, I think. So, but it'll be there if you kind of want to look at it, or but then I'll come back when I get to the point that I need to change these, and come back and show you what I need to do, or what you need to do to fix it. So, all right, get started. I just have a few more bands here for the middle of the rectangles, and then we'll go do the cross pieces, which is the only other place we need to make a change in the side border pieces. Alright, so I have all the colors done, so now we need to do the cross pieces. So you're going to come back here, and you have an end cap there, which was from the other cross pieces that we took off. And you'll go in through there, you'll grab the top band, whatever that is. It's kind of hard because the bracelet kind of smooshes up against it, but once you just find it, loop it over, grab the next band in the cross piece, and before you put it on this pin over here, you're going to want to remove the top border band and then put the cross piece band on, and then replace the border band. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So loop that one, get the next band up and over ready to go, grab that top band, which is part of the border, take it off, and then put on your cross piece, and then replace the border band on there. So now everything on our extension should be where it needs to be so it looks continuous. So we do the cross pieces for all of them. Last row. So the cross pieces now are done. So let me go up both sides. And the other side. Alright, so that is everything banded. So now you just want to secure the end somehow. C-clip, slip knot with a band, 2 hooks or 1 hook, however you want to do that. Remove the extra bands from the side. So I really like this bracelet because I think it comes together pretty quickly. It's not super hard, I don't think. It's a nice look to it, and different color combinations are endless. But then you can take this off your loom once you get the kind of bigger side pieces off. And you have a nice striped, or a nice straight striped bracelet. Pretty fabulous. To fix some of my bands to get them to go. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Just pretty cool. And the other ones I did here, I also was kind of goofing around and was trying different versions of this design. And these, I won't put a tutorial for them because they're just the different band placement colors. Like this one, I double banded the border on both sides, and I just alternated the color instead of doing a straight like black on that one. Changed the color of the stripes through the middle. I think those were double banded too. The centers were single banded, but I thought that looked pretty neat too. Reminds me of a very colorful piano or something. So, and this one, though, I wish I would have used a black and switched my banding just a little bit. I tried to do kind of a zigzag pattern through here. Didn't quite turn out right, but I still liked it, so needs a little work, different color choices, but I thought it was kind of cool. But as always, thanks for watching my tutorial. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you enjoy making this bracelet. I think it's pretty sweet, and plus the other variations that I have of it are pretty awesome as well. Not these ones, but the other tutorials that I have, those are awesome. So you have to check those out as well. Like I said, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, because that's awesome. And if you have pictures of the things that you create, I would love to see them. You can show them to me on my Facebook page or on my Instagram. Both the links for those are underneath the video, so you can find me there. Or if you have questions, of course, you can find me there too to help you. If you're getting stuck on a bracelet or you have a question, just let me know and I'll do my best to help you figure anything out. But thank you for watching, and I will have more tutorials for you soon.